Hi everyone, this recording is part of the Getting Started with Archeion training slide deck. Apologies for my voice, I'm getting over a little cough. You can access the slides and corresponding notes as usual at the link here or from this QR code. The slides in this video are from section 5 of the slide deck, which covers how to add archival descriptions to Archeion. This recording assumes you have viewed the section 1 and 5 video already because this recording specifically discusses only the end of section 5, which covers language options in Archeion. In the slide notes, I've linked to the corresponding instructional video that covers section 1 and 5, which is the basics of editing in Archeion and how to add a description. As you may know, the database that Archeion runs on, Access to Memory or ATOM, is a multilingual database. This means that ATOM's data model accounts for the ability to add data in different languages. This means that when you use Archeion, if you have archival descriptions that are multilingual, for example, you have archival descriptions that are in French as well as English, you can enter both languages into Archeion. In the slides, I've linked to the specific documentation that lays out how to add multilingual data in ATOM. This documentation comes from ATOM maintainers, artifactual systems, and before you begin adding multilingual data into Archeion, I strongly recommend you review their documentation. This recording gives an overview, but their documentation is very thorough, so it's a great resource to refer to. I've also linked to documentation about translating the ATOM interface, but this recording does not discuss how to do that. You can contact the Archeion coordinator if you're interested in contributing to translating the Archeion user interface, such as menus and headings. Before you can begin adding multilingual data in Archeion, you will first need to contact the Archeion coordinator to add the translator user group permission to your Archeion user account. Once the translator user group permissions are applied to your user account, you'll be able to add translations and follow the instructions that are in the following slides. If you try to translate content and follow the instructions in this recording with only an editor or contributor account, you will likely get an error message. Once you have translator permissions, I still encourage you to refer to the Translating ATOM content for full instructions from artifactual systems, but I will also demo briefly here. So the basic steps you take are as if you're navigating to an archival description to edit it like normal. You click edit, and then you use the top-level navigation language icon, which appears as a globe, to select the language you want to add a translation for. This video is a little blurry and it's also for an authority record, not a description, but just to show, you can click on the globe icon, select the language that you want to edit in this case French, and you will get taken to the French edit form, which shows the corresponding English data, but you can enter the French data in the edit form and click save. In this recording, I'm also using the Access to Memory demo site, which is linked in the slides, and I encourage you to test out adding multilingual data in ATOM in the demo site before doing the work in Archeion if you're still learning and want to experiment with how language options in ATOM and Archeion work. One thing to flag if you're working with multilingual data in Archeion, just be careful when you select a new language. If you're still set on that language, but then you want to add data in a different language, you are still set on the language code that you initially selected. So you can see here in an example description URL that this has sf_culture equals fr, which means you're viewing this description in French. So from this URL, if you try to click edit to edit the description, you would get the French language edit form. You can always use the top-level navigation globe icon to switch back to the language that you want to be adding edits for. I've described a single translation of an archival description, but you can also ingest translations for archival descriptions in bulk. If you're looking for instructions on how to bulk ingest archival descriptions with translations, our 2022 Archeion coordinator Jasmine created really excellent documentation about preparing a spreadsheet for bulk ingest with multilingual descriptions. The summary is that in the spreadsheet, as shown on this slide, you give the original language description a row and the translated description a row, and then each gets the same legacy ID, and then you assign each the appropriate language code in the culture column. So these two rows would be ingested as a single description with two language options when bulk ingested via CSV. Once you have added your description translation into Archeion, the additional language description is counted in the language facet shown on the Archeion archival description browse page. So this facet shows that Archeion has 16,503 English descriptions, 260 French descriptions, 2 Finnish, and so on. The same occurs if you translate authority records or institutional records. You can translate an authority record or institution record, and when these translations are created, they are also counted on the respective search pages for authority records, which is the left screenshot, and institutional records, which is the right screenshot. I hope this recording has demystified how you add multilingual descriptions into Archeion. If your institution would like to increase the amount of translated content that we have in Archeion, that would be wonderful. And you can always get in touch at the Archeion coordinator email if you have any questions. Take care. Thank you. Bye.